Hi friends, welcome to NetTalks Tamil. Today we are going to discuss about static routing. What is static routing? The static routing is a process in which we have to manually add routes into routing table, which AD values of static routing is 1. Mean if I want to travel from Chennai to France, I am instructing person who is traveling, you should not go any way. You have to get into the Chennai airport. From Chennai airport, you should catch a direct flight to the France. You should not look any alternative path. You should catch a direct flight. I'm instructing the person. He will not look at all any path. Okay, he will go to the flight. Okay, he will fix it that he will book the ticket for accordingly, and then he will go to catch a direct flight to the France. If it is a dynamic routing, okay, he will not look at this direct flight at all. Okay, whichever is the best path, he will look that and he will go it. Okay, there is a no manually we are instructing him based on the algorithm which is running in the router, which is a routing protocol we are running in the router. Based on that, it will be choosing the path. But static routing is manually we are instructing we have to go this path. Okay, for that it's a AD value of the static routing is 1. AD means administrative distance, which is the trustworthiness of the route, which is the less AD value, that route will be almost preferable. If I am having a routing protocol running BGP as a 20 eBGP, okay, it will not prefer that route if static routing is there. Why? Because the static routing AD value is 1, so it will prefer the static routing. What is the advantages of static routing? See, there is no routing overhead for the router CPU, which means a cheaper router can be used for do the routing. See, for example, it no need to run any algorithm or routing protocol in the router. It doesn't require any additional memory or CPUs consumes more and all. It's a basic routers can do this functionality. It is like a manually we are adding it, manually we are instructing it. There is no load for a CPU in this case. It's added more security also because the only administrator can allow the routing to the particular networks only. Say for example, if you're running a routing protocol, it will be someone can advertise the route. Okay, those routes will be coming to the routing table. It will be overhead to the routers. Okay, which is sometimes it may go wrong also. But in static routing case, okay, there is no such kind of flaws. Okay, it's only administrator can add it. Okay, if administrator doing some mistakes, then it will be hamper our network. Then usually in routing protocol dynamic, okay, we need to establish a neighborship between the routers. It has to build a topology and all. Okay, for that it requires some bandwidth. But in static routing cases, okay, it doesn't require any topology table built up and all. So it does not require any bandwidth at all. It looks only next hop IP. Based on the next hop IP reachability, it will forward the traffic. Now let's see the disadvantage. See, if it is a larger network, we cannot add multiple networks manually. It is a hectic work as well to administrator to add manually each and every route in the network in the routing table on each router. If I'm having 100 routers, I have 100 network. If I'm adding one by one manually into the 100 routers, 100 networks, it will be hectic task to the administrator. Sometimes it may mesh up also. The administrator should have a deep knowledge about the topology, otherwise it will make a lot of problem in the static routing. If anything goes wrong by adding a wrong static route, it will mess up a complete network itself. Now let's see the syntax of static routing. The IP route and the network ID, subnet mask and next hop IP. That is a generic syntax of the static routing. IP space route network ID subnet mask next hop IP. For example, in this scenario, if I want to reach from here to here, this network, I have to put route in this router towards this. I am adding a route as a 192.168.30.0, 255.255.255.0. Next hop is 192.168.10.2. If for reaching this network also, I need to add here route the same way. Again from here I need to add a route. See, if it is a 3 network, it's easy to add it 3 lines here and 3 lines here, 3 lines here. But if it is 100 routers are there like this, okay, it is a very tough to for us to adding it. Only small network static route can be used it. The syntax is IP space route network ID subnet mask and next hop. Default routing. The default routing, the where the router is configured to send all the packets towards a single router, single next hop. It doesn't matter to which network the packet belongs. It forwarded out to the router, which is configured for default routing. It is generally used with stub network routers. The stub routers is a routers which can only have one route to reach all the network. See, I have stub router. Stub router means that is an edge router, last router. Okay, I have only one exit point. Okay, where I can forward all the traffics. In that cases, I can use the default route. Whatever packet is there from this router, you forward to the next hop, which is only one is available. Okay, you forward to that. For that, the syntax is IP route 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0, which means all the network next hop IP. See here, if you see the scenario from R2 to R1, we have two paths. But ISP to R1, I have only one path. See this for R1 ISP, the exit path I can make it is a 1. Default route I can make it from here to here. If I am making here to here, default route IP route 0.0.0 0.0.0. Okay, if I am 2 here means 9192.168.10.2. Here I am put as a 1. Okay, if you from here to here, if default route the only one exit point for to catch all the network, I can use the default route. Towards here I can use a static route. For 172.10.0.0, you can use a static route, but here I have only one exit point. I can use a stub. Here also I can use a stub network from here to here. Okay, I can use it a default route as well. Better upcoming slide. Okay, I'll be explaining in upcoming session. I'll be explaining with the lab. Okay, it will give the more clarity on the default routing and then static routing with the lab experience. The default routing is all the traffic should forward to the which next hop, which is the like only one exit point I have from the router. Hope this video makes clear about the theory part of static routing and default routing. Upcoming session we will see in depth with the lab. Thanks for watching NetTalks Tamil. Please like it, share it, subscribe it. If you have any doubt, please drop your doubts in comment box. It will be addressed in upcoming video.